watching that timer is so weird because like I'm counting down in my head, waiting to hit the button, and then I'm like, wait, is my finger on the wrong button? It's so funny. Hey everybody, welcome to Let's See To It. I actually came up with that name. Thank you for letting me name it. Kind of interesting. I'm Chris, the real Darth guy. Some of you may know me. Kind of a lurker in the community a little bit, but I hit up the support questions quite a bit. And my co-host, I'll let him do his introduction.
I'm Justin, aka Noodles, aka Baggy Noodle Arms, if you want to say the whole thing. Obviously, found the Twitch crew back in the day. It's now C2. And yeah, you did come up with that name right when we were thinking about naming it C2. So worked out perfectly.
I don't even know. I had a couple plays on the C2, and I was always just trying to put it in the name of the show because, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You're seeing to something. I don't know. Anyway. So tonight's the first episode ever. So we might stumble a couple times. We might completely knock it out of the park. We don't really know how it's going to go. But, it'll be fun.
I'm positive we're going to knock it out of the park, actually.
Yeah. We're going to staple down our identity a little bit so you guys know what this show is. Because like the title says, what is this show? And Noodles, you really summed it up quite well earlier when we were chit-chatting about it, if you can remember what you said. What do you think?
We kind of went back and forth, but basically two-person just chatting stream where we kind of talk about our lives, what's going on in the world, more so of gaming, but potentially anything that's kind of newsworthy or Twitter-worthy. I'd say that basically sums it up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Every once in a while, we'll pull in a third person on here and have some guests and things like that. So we were just talking about how it would be really awesome to be able to get some people that are, a little bit higher on the ranks in the YouTube or in the Facebook and in Mixer as well, because, since we just changed from Twitch crew over to creator crew, we want to feature some more creators, not just Twitch people like you and I. Yeah. Although I dabble in YouTube a little bit, but
you do, yeah.
So, well,
even a partner on Twitch would be cool, or somebody who's made it.
Right, and kind of get the secret sauce, I do that all the time. Do you ever watch someone just to go, okay, I'm going to take notes and try to figure out what exactly this person is doing that warrants them to have such a huge following? I do that all the time. Do you?
That's my whole channel, yeah. I found this guy named Baggy Noodle Arm, and I named myself Baggy Noodle Arms, and I do exactly same game.
You just hope someone accidentally...
I watch it in the morning, and everything he says, I kind of say on my own stream. It's been working real well for me.
It's perfect, right?
Obviously not real, guys. I don't even think there is a Baggy Noodle Arm.
Someone's over there going, wait, Baggy Noodle Arm? What the heck?
Somebody just took it just now.
Right. So how's your general life been with all the craziness going on in the world right now? Are you able to stay home pretty much every day and hang out?
Yeah, life's... I mean, I don't want to call it normal because, it's anything but right now, but... relatively normal. I did go full-time work at home, kinda. I mean, the company's a little iffy on how they're doing that because it's new to them, but I am working from home. My fiance Baggy is work from home. So it's just us and some cats.
Some cats? Don't you have like 4 cats?
Two. Two cats.
That's 2 too many. I have 2. There's a bunch of 2s in that statement. Yeah, I have actual 2. And love them to death. I have 2 dogs, though, so I guess I have the same amount of craziness that you have in your house. The only difference
might be
is
more.
Dogs are so much more maintenance than cats.
Yes.
Like, your cats are just like, hey, pet me. Don't touch me now. Like, after 5 minutes of touching them, And dogs are a little bit more needy just because, obviously, they're bigger. So when they lie on your lap, you're like, oh, what is going on here? And then, taking them out and all that stuff. Because I don't have a dog door because it gets too cold here.
Same.
I would never, ever want that just constant breeze coming in the house. So,
I would like to have a door for the cat litter box, though, like to the closet or something. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. And the place that we actually put the cat boxes in, it's like, those weird looking like doors that almost look like shutters. They have the slits all the way down them.
Yeah.
So I'd have to I don't know. It would be a real weird situation to try to make that door work for a cat door, if you will. I don't know. So,
Yeah, you'd probably have to get a different door
yeah,
altogether.
yeah, not that they're super expensive, but it's still like, ugh. I gotta go hang the door. I gotta do all this stuff again. The frame might not be perfect for it. You know how it goes.
Oh, for sure.
I'm able to work from home, luckily, through all this. My company let me work from home every single Friday anyways.
Right.
So it was kind of a natural transition. We work at a software company, or I work
mean,
at a
we do.
software. Yeah, that's true. So
Like tech company.
yeah, and nice and easy. That's weird that your tech company hasn't experienced a lot of remote work though, because that's kind of the standard in tech companies nowadays, you know?
So I guess somebody in the past possibly abused it, so they're iffy on it. They're a startup tech company that's actually a big company originally. That kind of like founded a little company inside itself.
Okay.
So they have their main product is a warehouse. They're a manufacturing company. So they're very used to like you show up on the clock, you use a clock to
punch
time
it.
in.
Yeah.
Yep. And they have their lunchroom with their 30-minute, everything's like very by the book. So
Okay.
they only started the software company. It's more of a tech company because we actually have hardware, but they started that a couple of years ago, like 2 years. So it's pretty new to them.
Nice.
They're
Okay.
trying to still navigating that, and some of the people are set in their old ways of the manufacturing side.
That makes sense. We actually have a similar situation where bigger companies founded a smaller company.
Okay.
But luckily, like, we work in the trucking industry, and some of the old times in the trucking industry got a little crazy. How they paid drivers and things like that. So the CEO is pretty relaxed when it comes to where you're going to work, how often you're going to work. One of the coolest things that ever happened is we actually have a pool table inside the office.
We have a foosball table.
Oh,
Hell
nice, nice. So we're down there, and it's that weird thing when the company CEO walks in, you're like, oh no, I should be doing something related to work. And he's like, no, you guys are fine. It's absolutely fabulous that, we pay you for your mind, not necessarily you sitting at a computer. And that kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, that's a cool CEO right there. I can
for
work
sure.
hard for him. And, when you have someone like that, you tend to work a little harder just because, I don't know, if you like your boss, you work harder for your boss, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's the case with most things, right? If you like somebody or at least respect them,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
typically
I guess
care
I
about
would
them.
I would agree with the at least respect portion, definitely.
Yeah. 'Cause
Definitely.
they may not be your friend, but if you have some respect, you'll respect what they're trying to do and
Right.
help them do it.
Exactly. So I know you watched the PS5 or at least some of the PS5 reveal today.
ZZZZ. No.
Oh man. I'm telling you what.
I watched half. I'd say I made it through half.
I watched the whole thing, but watched is kind of a generous term because it was on the whole time, and I was basically just watching it, and also on Twitter and Instagram. I was actually trying to find what other people were saying about it because it was a snooze fest. It was like Mark Cerny, he's too much up here in his own head, and like
Yeah, he's probably a smart dude, but
I was really expecting to get like what it looks like, what the new controller looks like, maybe a release window, like something else other than just here's all the really, really, really technical stuff that all in all encompasses it's going to load really, really fast. Okay.
yeah, they went on about that for, I don't know, 40 minutes about how load times will be quick.
Right.
We did kind of get, I think, backwards compatibility.
Yeah, he didn't directly address it, but when he was talking about the NVMe expansion slot in there,
Yes.
and he was talking about the hard drive, he was saying you can take your PS4 games and transfer them over to your NVMe drive if you want the benefits of all the quick load times, or you can just load them from your external drive at the same speed of USB 3.2 or whatever it was on the screen at the time. So he didn't directly say you can play your PS4 games, but he did kind of say it. I don't know. The NVMe is cool.
Yeah, the slots are cool. Like being able to semi-customize it sounded like internally.
Yeah. You open it up and it's going to be an NVMe slot on the board that'll go with the other one. That's one thing I wasn't super clear about is if you take the existing one out and drop this one in, or if there was like a secondary slot on the board.
I would think a secondary, but yeah, I'm not sure either.
I would honestly hope a secondary, only because then you don't have to do that weird swap situation where you're like, oh, now I got to format this thing.
Right.
I got to transfer all my stuff from the other NVMe drive. I got to somehow get all this stuff all married together again. So,
I don't think they do that because of OS alone.
Yeah, that's true. They were he was very particular about saying, we'll only support some NVMe drives, but ours is going to be the best one, like, because we custom designed it. Like, okay, whatever, man. I actually, in my PS4, I took the original drive out and dropped a SSD in there, but only a 500 gig, and then I have my external. It was okay.
I didn't, just because by then I was already a PC gamer.
Yeah.
And I mean, I use all my consoles at this point for, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, whatever.
You know what's funny? Because you were around the evening we were designing my PC, because you were giving some input and stuff. And actually, I got the Dell monitor that you recommended to me.
That's what I'm on right now.
I got the same one. I moved the PlayStation out of its spot that it was in, and I have to turn it off to do that, and it's never been back on ever since I moved it. I got the PC, and now I just play everything on the PC.
I do think that was part of the problem with the PS5 reveal for PC gamers, potentially. Like, I was watching it and like, oh, wow, you have an SSD built in? Super awesome. Me too. Like,
yeah, I know. Like, he did this weird intro into SSDs where he's like, we couldn't just take the hard drive out and put an SSD in. And I'm sitting here going, I did that with the PS4. What are you talking about? You can't just rip out the hard drive and drop an SSD. Yes, you can. Of course you can. So it was a really weird event, and it was just like, I don't know, Mark Cerny is it's almost too smart for his own good for presentations like that. Obviously, he's great to design the PlayStation, but man, are those presentations just like a snooze fest, dry, techie. If it was called, instead of PS5 reveal, if it was called PS5 Tech Talk, I think it would have been received a lot differently.
I'm sure some people love that kind of talk,
Oh, yeah.
Sure
I bet
tech
there was
nerds in there, but I wasn't one of them.
Did you notice that, technically speaking, the PS4 has less teraflops than the Xbox, than Series X? So I'm sure that's going to be the big thing out there, where it's like,
oh, the PS5, yeah.
Did I say PS4? I did say PS4. Yeah, so the new Xbox has much more. Well, it's 2 more, or like 1.8 more teraflops or something like that than the PS5 is going to have. So I'm sure that's going to be the Xbox is more powerful, and whatever. I mean, technically the Xbox is more powerful now, but PlayStation has slightly better exclusives, with the exception of Halo, in my personal opinion.
Honestly, it's all opinion based. Even the last console war, I mean, I bought both by the end of it. So like, I don't really care if they have a good game on it that I have to buy the system for. Eventually, I will get it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, how do you feel about the Horizon Zero Dawn release on PC? I know that caused a lot of
and that
drama.
caused the craziest amount of drama. I was really confused by that. Like, there was this one video of a guy smashing his entire setup.
I saw that
because it was being released, and I'm like, why would you ever do that? It's just it's not like you didn't get to play it. You still got to play it and enjoy it. Now just more people do. And I think it's
good for them. That company that makes the game gets more money, potentially makes the next one because it does well and they have money.
Yep.
It doesn't hurt anybody. It's crazy.
I 100% completed Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4. I'm going to play it again on PC because now I want to see it in all of its hopefully 144 hertz glory and like better graphics and all that stuff. I'm hoping it's not just going to be like a straight port over and it's just like, oh, max 60 frames, because the PS4 Pro was able to do 60 frames on it, but it was an interesting trade-off because you had to pick performance mode or I forget what the next one was. It was either performance or like visually looking better, And when I first started, I did pick the visually looking better version, whatever it was called, and it would go back down to 30 frames per second, and then things off in the distance would be smoother across the screen and things like that, but the frame drops were crazy. So like when you were in a real heated battle with a dino bot or whatever they are, like you would have real bad frame dips. So if you had switched it back over, you would get 60 frames, still with frame dips, but between 60 and 30 is a lot better than 30 and 15, you know?
For sure.
Like,
yeah.
So I'm just
I'm
excited.
sad I never finished that game because at the time, Breath of the Wild came out. It's like they were so similar, both bow games, adventure, that I'm a big Zelda nerd. So I was playing Breath of the Wild.
Right.
I did buy Horizon Zero Dawn, and I probably put a couple hours in. I enjoyed it. I just never went back.
Yeah, I 100%ed the game. I don't even know how many hours I was in there, but I mean, I would say it was probably about 200 hours in that game.
Wow.
So I'll invest the time again. I'm also excited to just have the mouse control while aiming that bow and arrow. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Some people prefer that, and then sometimes the aim assists, you don't notice how much you really need it for some games until you don't have it.
Right. Like I play Jedi Fallen Order, and I can't do it with a keyboard and mouse.
Right.
It's just too awkward feeling because you lock onto
I've heard
targets
that for
and
Red
then
Dead.
yeah.
I've heard that for a few games.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'll definitely get it.
I probably will. Streaming wise, I prefer if something's on PC, not just because not Master Race or anything, just I don't have to hook up a capture card and hope my capture card works. And
Right. Yeah, I've had situations where my AverMedia will freeze for no reason, and I'll have to just unplug it, plug it back in so that it starts going again.
Or you don't get audio. I mean, there's all sorts of syncing audio.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's why I like having a one PC setup. Is just everything
Simplicity.
is right there. Yeah.
Do you do game capture typically, or do you do display capture?
Well, my main game, I cannot do game capture, but every other game I do game capture.
Oh, do you? I've always done display because I don't know. I like the ability to just drag something over the top or tab out of it, and it stays
I have
there.
display under it as its own source. So if I just hit the little eyeball, my game disappears and you see my desktop.
Okay, yeah. I've always done the borderless desktop, and then I can just drag a window over the top of the game, and it's there, and I don't have to worry about hiding anything or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So something cool happened today. Something really cool for streamers.
For streamers, okay.
It's going to sound weird. It's going to sound really weird because it's going to sound like I'm promoting someone else's content, but it kind of is. So if you
I know what this is.
If you know me, I'm a pretty big fan of Harris Heller.
Alpha Gaming.
He goes by Harris Heller on Twitch, but he purchased music from a producer.
I saw that,
and he put it all out there on Apple Music, on Spotify, on everywhere, so that streamers can use it in the background and never get demonetized.
I think YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, he put it on basically every single platform.
You can use it for YouTube.
Yeah. So he made it so that we can put it in any video, in any stream, anything, and no monetization strikes or copyright strikes or anything. Actually, I'm listening to it right now. If anyone has the link,
feel free to drop that in the chat.
I get it from Apple Music. That's what we're listening to right now. Just a nice lo-fi style. And you just search Harris Heller on Apple Music. I think you search the same thing on Tidal and Spotify and all that. But it's
listed under him.
It's listed under him. And then because it's still uploading to Tidal and stuff like that. Apple Music was the first one. Once it's all out there, he's going to give us download links so that, when you're editing your YouTube video, you can drop the track in Premiere or whatever your editing software is.
That's really awesome and a very good business move. I mean, now every person ever who listens to that knows his name.
Yep. And he gets royalties from the streaming. So...
Well, yeah, they get I don't know what it is, but pennies on the listen or whatever, but still.
Mm-hmm. So he could technically make the money back that he paid. He actually even said he paid $40,000 for it or something like that. But
okay,
I know. Don't you wish you had that kind of you're just my streaming and YouTube career is doing so well. I'm just gonna buy this music. So
if anyone wants to donate $40,000, I'll buy us some music too.
I'll buy us some music, right? But I thought that was really cool because for the longest time I've been just looking. I'll use the copyright-free or royalty-free playlists and stuff like that, and I'm always nervous that because what can happen is one of those artists when they're small puts their playlist or their song out there, and then all of a sudden they get picked up by Warner Brothers or something like that. Warner Brothers can buy their entire catalog and then that song no longer is copyright free.
Would you not be
and-
grandfathered in?
Nope, you
Wow.
would not be.
Uploaded
Unfortunately,
dates like 2 years before the copyright, and you're
Yeah.
still.
they can still
Video's
ping you
gone.
for it. Yeah.
Oh, you had 2 million views on that video. Too bad.
Yep. They'll either, depending on the size, they'll either take the video down or they'll just take the royalties from it. So they'll copyright strike it or whatever YouTube does, and then they get all the
Yeah.
ad revenue and all that stuff. But most of the time, it's things like people getting their whole entire YouTube just wiped out. Like their user is gone.
I think I figured out Harris Heller's plan. He's gonna make us all start using it. Once we all are successful on YouTube, he copyright strikes
All of it.
all of us at once, and he's the only YouTuber left.
We've actually, so I say we, like I'm like an inquisitive, like a board or something while I'm in his chat. But a lot of people have been asking, like, is there some kind of document that we can download to prove, like, so if YouTube does happen to strike it for any reason, we could say, hey, YouTube, we have this document right here that says that we have the rights to use this music. He's looking into that right now, is what he says. But
I don't
mean-
think they'll need it, considering if he doesn't tell YouTube.
right, you have to upload songs to the copyright ID system in YouTube, is
Yeah,
what he was saying.
right.
So he said he's not doing that. And like, if other people do, since he's uploading it into YouTube Music, it'll say this song is owned by Harris Heller. You can't upload it into
Yeah,
this
the
system.
owner has to do it. Makes
Right.
sense.
So pretty cool. I mean, you know, if you want to use that playlist, you no longer have to worry about copyright or you guessing on these Spotify playlists. It's pretty cool. It's right now there's 120 songs, so it's like 4.5 hours of music before
I
it
think they
repeats.
said what 160 is going to be the total, or is it 120?
I think it's 180 is going to be the actual
80.
total. Yeah. So
Okay.
some of them are still in the processing phase or whatever. I guess
Yep.
there was some samples in one of the albums that were copyright samples, I guess. So like the sound of a raindrop, and YouTube wouldn't accept it, so he sent it back to the producer, said use a different one and come back.
Wow.
Like, it's that intense. Like how the
Yeah.
detection system is crazy, right?
That's a difficult industry for sure. I mean, I get it. You know, they need to make their money. You don't want to like take their hard work from them for free. But
I
man,
feel
the sound
like-
of a raindrop, like it's so
I
tough.
know. Like I feel like something's got to change in that whole entire it's the music industry's already experienced one like punch to the gut. Napster, LimeWire,
Oh, yeah.
you know, all the downloadable music, how it completely changed the music industry, and they're still fighting tooth and nail for this stuff. It's like I don't understand why they don't just say, okay, well, streamers they're not broadcasting this content as the primary driver for their show. Like, it's not like we're sitting on here being a radio DJ and just playing the music, you know?
Next up, we got Britney Spears.
Right.
Just playing a song.
Right. Like, why can't we just play the music? And it's almost like it's more promotion for them, because there's been a bunch of times I did it in your stream, remember? I got in there and I was like, what song is this? I like this song.
Yep. So
Some-
that song, I mean, I was using friends' bands for that purpose. I knew for a fact I wouldn't get copyrighted. Small
Right.
town, friend.
Unless they get big and signed by, like, I guess Warner Brothers is one of the worst ones about going
Yeah.
and finding their music, but we're safe now, kind of. I think
Woohoo!
it feels like we're safe.
Yeah, for now, right? At
Right.
least
Well, at least I know the origination point of the music.
I'm gonna have to
so-
make my own music.
Right? We'll hop into whatever music software and we'll just throw a bunch of loops together and use that all the time, right? I
For
don't know.
sure.
It's pretty cool
The other
though.
cool thing I wanted to mention, well, since this is our first show, this is live on Twitch, first off. Secondly, we are using a new video capturing thing for us, at least.
Mhm.
We used to use Discord for everything. We still love you, Discord. We sure do. But we are now using Skype because I'm sure Darth could go into more detail here, but basically it lets you capture each webcam as its own source. So in OBS, it's a lot easier to mess around with, anybody on the show's video input.
Yeah, so it goes to NDI. So you set it up with Skype to export the video to NDI. You put a OBS plugin for NDI in there, and then it's just like adding a webcam. You just hit plus and it says NDI video source. Select it, and then like for you, I select your username out of a drop-down menu, And then
Nice.
like I was actually surprised when we got back on the call because we did the test before the show, and
Yep.
then when you called back, it just popped up again. I didn't even have to reset anything or go back into settings or re-add anything. It just all was there. It was perfect.
That is really cool. I actually found out about that at TwitchCon.
Oh, okay.
I met Skype was one of the booths there, and I was talking to the guy who kind of came up with that whole idea.
Nice.
He was like, "Would you try this? Would you try this?" Gave me his business card and told me to like, let him know how I feel about it. So if I can find his business card, I may have to let him know it seems to work well, and maybe point him to the show.
I like it a lot because, with Discord, it's since you have to have the Discord window on like full screen, for instance, and then you have to like crop out that little section of the screen, and then if you want to make it bigger, it's all blurry. But I have a full HD source in NDI for you, so I can make you nice and large, so you don't have to be in that little corner. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to invest in a new camera now so I can look real nice.
There you go. I mean, if anyone has any questions about how to set it up, just ask me in the support channel.
There you go.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad. Yeah.
Right.
This show is sponsored by
This
nobody.
Right. Nobody. It's sponsored by the Real Darth Guy giving you help in the support channel. Welcome.
Too funny.
So we were talking a little bit about the ideas that we have for Creator Crew, where
Okay.
obviously you and I have actually been talking about doing this show for, wow. I mean,
4 months?
Yeah.
Longer? I mean,
I know-
technically longer.
technically longer because before I went on my big hiatus, we were talking about the potential of me doing a show as well, So it's kind of been in its infant stages for that long. But
Yeah.
it's not about this show, what I'm trying to get to. But we were entertaining the idea of maybe bringing back Crew Talk as well. Not with us, because we're going to
No.
do Let's See To It. But Crew Talk being the news style show, whereas this one's more of the, hey, I'm just going to chit chat and maybe have a dead air period while we both think about something real quick or whatever,
Yeah,
So-
for anyone who watched the show, similar to how it used to be, we kind of little more of our Discord communities, news and stuff involving anything that could do with Discord streaming platforms and maybe games, very topic based rather
Yeah,
than
just more structured.
Yeah, instead of just chatting.
Yeah.
Instead of
don't
just
know-
talking about whatever we want.
I don't know
Toilet
why I
paper
wanted to
or whatever.
Toilet paper. Just you can invest in that.
Did anyone see our Baggies tweet? I mean, speaking of toilet paper, the day we find out toilet paper is like the big craze, we wake up the next morning and one of our kittens had destroyed an entire roll of toilet paper across the house, and we're like, guess
Do
they
you know
didn't
how
see.
valuable this is?
That's like $1,000.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to buy it on eBay now. Thanks.
Oh man. Around here it's been pretty easy actually. I don't know if it's just because we shut down, well, a lot of businesses around here shut down really early in the whole process. So like now it's just we go once a week to the store just to get the essentials because it runs out, and you're not supposed to hoard things because that's a jerk move. So, we get the normal amount of stuff, and it's been pretty good around here. Maybe you have to stop at 2 stores instead of just the primary one that you go to, but
Right.
there's also, I live in a certain town. I almost said the town, but but in the town, there's also a Facebook group of like, hey, if anyone is in need of something, I'm going to the grocery store and I can pick it up for you instead of you also going to the grocery store or something like that.
That's nice. Yeah,
And, people helping each other out is really cool to see.
for sure.
Instead of, because the news is like,
Oh, the new shows like the fights and the empty shelves, and everybody's in like the zombie apocalypse mode. But really, like, for the most part, people are kind of just living life. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
I went food shopping. I maybe bought, $50 worth more than I would typically spend just in case or something,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
nothing crazy. But just we did walk around. It's like the bread aisle's empty.
yep,
The pasta's empty except for my pasta because we get gluten free.
there you go.
Luckily, nobody wanted it. Yes, I'll take it.
There you go.
But so you get a little like all of a sudden, oh man, I should buy 2 of these when I usually buy one because
Right.
looks like they're gonna be empty tomorrow. But it's probably not.
There's a touch more of that just purchasing because the opportunity's there, but yeah, just I've never seen any, or at least me personally, when I've gone there, which I've only literally gone there once, there wasn't people with like the cart filled up, piled up like you see all over Twitter or anything. Everyone's being pretty reasonable, so it was pretty nice.
That might just be like big cities, though. I mean, I don't know about you.
That's
but
true. Yeah,
I'm in New Hampshire. It's cow to human ratio is like 1 maybe.
Okay.
I'm probably making that up, but you know what I mean. It's quiet. But there have been some rumors floating around about. I think we're supposed to be possibly shutting down borders to our state pretty soon.
I know Canada and U.S. stopped any non-essential travel today, or was that today or yesterday, or one of the recent days? But I mean, it makes sense. You know?
No, I've heard from 2 sources today that we might be shutting down our borders to our actual state.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's because Massachusetts has more cases than us, so it's kind of like a
Oh,
stay
right,
away
right,
from
right.
us. I don't know, but I mean, whatever, And then we've heard possibly shutting down like all stores soonish. So
Yes. So
not to
Ohio
make
has.
anyone panicked. I'm sure they'll
No.
give you some time to shop or whatever, but
Well, Ohio shut down bars and restaurants and things like that because, of course you get those people that are like, oh, I don't have to go into work tomorrow. Let's go to the bar tonight. And,
Florida, we're looking at you.
yeah, Florida, come on. The beaches. That's.
You saw that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually have a couple employees that live down in Florida.
Yeah, but spring break people, there's like thousands of people on this beach, all just still partying, and you're like, palm.
You're
to
like,
the
why
head.
are you doing that? You're like, it. I don't get it. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
But did you hear that Vegas shut down all casinos?
I did. I heard
That's
that through
nuts.
another stream, actually. So, but yeah.
My
I
dad
heard that
lives
recently.
it's like his forever home down there. It's, beautiful weather or whatever. He travels for work, so they bought a house down there, and he emailed me and he said, we just got the word for, well, not email. I don't know why I said email. It was a text because we live in 2020. But
Yeah, right.
he goes, yeah, the strip is shutting down. Can you imagine if, I mean, of course, you know about all the things that are going on and all that, but can you imagine if you're like, well, my vacation, or even worse, like your wedding got shut down or something? Because, Vegas is a destination place for things like weddings and stuff. I can't imagine that.
We've been talking about that a little because supposed to get married in August.
Yeah.
I would expect things are normalizing by then, but you never know. It's something to think about. So
See, here's the thing. It will normalize if people start listening. If people start understanding that the reason that they're saying stay home is to contain. Like, just for a little bit, it'll come back. It'll be fine. But not if you keep going out and keep doing all these things,
luckily
Man.
our wedding's pretty chill. We're at like a campground and stuff. So even if it got canceled, it's not like we have this big extravagant thing planned that costs all our money. So we are lucky there. But
I've been paying attention.
Conventions, everything.
I was just going to mention the conventions. So I follow a couple like event owners on Twitter and things like CEO Jabali and stuff like that. And there's been a lot of talk about like hotels where it's a smaller venue, smaller style convention. And I guess it's not really a convention. We'll just say event. But there was an email shared from Marriott where the Marriott was like, no, you still have to pay all the money that you used to book. And you're actually going to have to pay some extra because of the expenses that we're going to
Cancellation
lose.
fee.
Yep. And now, of course, Marriott's on blast on Twitter because that's how social media works. I don't know what genius person said, yeah, send that email because it won't get out. That'll be private. They'll just pay the money. That's not how the world works now.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for me, like it really made it seem big when E3 shut down for me. Like E3 shutting down, I was like, what? E3's been going on for like 20 something years,
Interestingly, though, I kind of thought that E3 was about, I don't know, 2 to 5 years away from completely shutting down or needing to change a lot. A lot of big companies are not going to E3. This was way before any of this stuff happened, and they're just skipping out. And it's almost like E3 just needs to pivot. And this might be the perfect year for them because now they canceled it. so they can take the time and they can wait and figure out a new angle to attack, you know? I hope
Yeah,
it
it's
gets
funny.
better.
I feel the same as you, but I was reading like people who go on Twitter, like in the industry, and
Hmm.
they were saying even though a lot of people feel that way, like for them it's big, and that's what it was all originally supposed to be about. It wasn't
Right.
it wasn't supposed to be the consumer side as much. Like obviously the reveals were, but the other side is kind of they get to have like business meetings because they're all in one place now. So like different
That's true.
companies can talk about different things. These indie companies can kind of meet people. Who knows? Maybe try to get hired by one of these companies. Whatever. You know, it was supposed to be like an industry event, not a
Not
not a gamer event.
a Comic-Con or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
exactly. So for them, even though like it hasn't been as exciting in the past years, for us, for them it was still like a big deal and something that
Right.
they used as a business thing. They actually hated when it went public, not because they don't want to see the public, but because
It
they want it to
changes.
be a professional, I want to talk business
Well,
environment.
Yeah, because now imagine, because even if you work for another company, you have the industry professionals there. Now the lines to test something and to get into a talk and to really get your job done at E3, now everything takes longer, so you can only do so much, or you have to send twice as many people.
Yeah,
So that makes sense. I would
Right.
say that makes sense.
yeah, I agree with our chat saying kind of like it's a great networking event. Indie studios, it's big for. They get to kind of show off their game in this big thing. I mean, I've been to a ton of PAX, and indie games are still cool, but they don't have everybody's attention.
Right.
Just because there's 20,000 people in the building or whatever, I don't know the number. I have no clue. It's a lot of people.
Right.
They don't all care about the indie. They're not all watching the same screen. Where E3, we're all watching typically like one channel or something where we see all these reveals.
Yeah.
And you may tune out if it's a game you don't care about, but still, like everybody has their eyes on it. So these indie games who get in there, it's like that's a bigger deal for them.
That makes sense. I mean,
It's not hands-on, but still.
I watch when it's E3. I just continuously watch the E3 coverage.
Yeah.
Nonstop. Every once in a while, I'll change from like one channel that's doing coverage to another, only because maybe I don't like the hosts or something like that, just for that show. But you know, I'll bounce around and pretty much watch the entire thing.
So yeah, I can't decide if they need to change or if they're kind of doing what they need to do for the people who it's intended for.
What do you think if they were to be like, you know what, we opened it to the public. We've determined that that was kind of a mistake because it really changed what the event was supposed to be. We're going to go back to what was working before we did that change, and just it's going to be an industry insider event, but we're going to broadcast more stuff because now everyone's going to get to, like I said, get their job done more efficiently.
I think there'd be obviously some backlash just because the people who liked going will be upset, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of conventions for the other side of things. There's all the PAX. There's PAX East, West, South, Unplugged, Australia. There's smaller conventions, TwitchCon kind of. That's a little less game oriented, but
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a MixerCon or FacebookCon or YouTubeCon at some point if they're not already a thing.
You know, I don't know. I feel like Mixer almost like threw in the towel. It's really weird
you?
because that may be just because I'm a Twitch streamer, but it almost feels like they just kind of went, I don't know, we're going to pay all these big streamers and then hope that everyone does the big migration. It didn't happen, and now they're not, I don't see as much marketing for Mixer as I used to.
I agree with you to some extent. I do try to keep up with, some of the platforms, especially if they have a game I'm interested on there that people care about. But
Okay.
I do know they were working on having clips because that wasn't a thing.
Oh. See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think people had to use third party or maybe only partners could. I'm not quite sure on the specifics, but so they were working on like making clips common. And then they are, from what I've heard, working on an affiliate program because right now it's only partners. So it sounds like they are still kind of figuring themselves out. They kind of bought those big names to be in the ring so people even pay attention to anything else. And then also, like, for instance, PAX East, I just got back from in February, March? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. February.
It seems like it was a long time ago, honestly, because I remember when you were there.
It was February. Twitch used to go every year, and they stopped going once they came out with TwitchCon EU for surprisingly. I
Oh.
think just because like they split now, they're
That is
two
weird.
two cons, but Mixer's still there.
Okay.
So like they're still trying, and they usually aren't like big, and they kind of like the first year they were there, it was like the Fortnite tourney area, so like you kind of came for Fortnite probably, but Mixer's name was on the board, and
all over the place, right?
they had the hype squad thing going on in the background, which is like if you're in the top 5 or whatever it is in Fortnite, you
Okay.
may be on their like featured channel.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a way for people to find smaller streamers. So they definitely have tried new things to help you find the small guy.
Now, is discoverability better on Mixer, would you say? I've never
Only in that
watched.
avenue.
Okay.
Only, I think, at least from my as my limited time on Mixer, it's just if you are really good at a game, they have a few of those channels that specifically like they'll just pull from random streams on Mixer that are top 5 on Fortnite or Apex or whatever's big,
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
they'll immediately be on that channel as
Okay.
like, so, and then they'll have their name, so you like, oh my god, that guy's awesome, look at him crank 90s for the young kids over there. And you know, and then everybody pours in. I'm showing my age right now, but that's okay, I'm fine with it. But you know, so then you kind of get a little bit of discoverability in that moment.
I mean, if Twitch did something for discoverability for small streamers, like, I don't understand why they don't try to do something, because the more small streamers that get discovered, then obviously they're going to make more money. It seems really weird that they haven't put some effort into helping more people make money on the platform. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Not that they're the smaller guys, but still, like, I know they've been doing some of those ads with brand new partners, like everybody's favorite Coke Gaming or whatever that was.
yeah.
That was brand new partners. So they do some, granted, you know, brand new partners further along than most of us want discoverability for. But still, I mean, those guys are relatively small. A 75 viewer average is not
It's not huge, yeah.
the top, you know, not the top 10 in the directory, basically, unless they're playing some indie game. So I mean, they do some. I agree. I don't know what they could do though. The problem, it may have been you I was talking about this with, like YouTube. You watch a video and it's, I don't know, what, 10 minutes of your day,
Sure.
20 tops.
Mhm.
I mean, there's longer ones, but you know the average. And then it immediately just picks a different channel potentially and just plays a similar video.
Keeps
You
it going.
can't do
yeah.
that with Twitch. Like the only thing Twitch does is we do a host or a raid, and that's up to the streamer. But other than that, I mean, people stream 24 hours.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. I can't do, like, I'll watch a channel for quite a while, say Dr. Disrespect or something like that, because I don't know, I enjoy his person, I enjoy the fake persona that he put
Yep.
on. You know, it's like a WWF, and before it was WWE, it was WWF, and that's when I was into wrestling with my uncles and things like that. So it reminds me of like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior and people like that, but it's just in the streaming world, you know. So
Did they wrestle pandas back then, or
no. Good grief.
WWF? Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
right.
Uh,
So,
sorry.
like, I'll watch his stream, and
Right.
I max out at like 2.5 hours, and then I'm like, I gotta go watch something else. I gotta switch this. Like at a certain point, his personality becomes too much, and I
Yeah,
go, okay, I
I
need
guess
to
I
go
can see
find
that.
something a little more chill and relax a little more. You know.
What's the longest stream you've ever done yourself?
Myself, the longest stream I ever did was when I played Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and I was trying to get my buddy leveled up for the raid. We started at 8 a.m., and I didn't realize it was going to take us till like 9 p.m. to get him raid ready, but it did, and I streamed the whole entire thing all day, and then
Nice.
I left for a while to go get dinner and do a couple things, and then we came back and we streamed for another like 4 or 5 hours. So it was a very hefty stream day for me.
That's a long day.
I went back and watched the VOD of the tail end of it, and you can tell I was
You
smoked.
just kind of slouched back in your chair, like falling asleep.
Yeah, like I was just done. I was not interested in playing the game anymore. I was tired. And that's why I don't think I could do a 24-hour stream. Do you think you could make it?
My longest was probably close, if not that, and it was similar. I was raiding in Destiny, I think on PlayStation at the time,
Okay.
and I went all night. I think it was 23 hours or something.
Holy smokes.
Other than that, though, like purposely sitting down and like schedule that, I would probably never schedule a 24. And maybe if I had no job for like a long period of time that I could like recover, but
Yeah.
people who do that on the weekend and then go back to work on Monday are crazy in my mind.
I can't lie and say that I didn't consider it. I'm going on vacation next week. A
Okay.
staycation now because, you know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I almost canceled the vacation, but I'm at the point at work where I'm just like, I just need the mental break. I just
Yeah.
want to be able to just shut off for an entire week and do whatever I want. So I thought about possibly trying a 24-hour stream, and I decided against it only because I'm like, that'll ruin me for like 2 days. Like, that'll take 2 days away from my vacation like that.
Right. I think the other side of that too is like, unless it happens naturally, I just feel like I wouldn't be enjoying it, and I wouldn't be having. It wouldn't be a quality stream, you know. Like, I've some days I've planned a 2-hour stream because like I try to do at least 2, right? I mean,
Sure.
why even go live if you're under that, really? But so I try to do 2, and I'm having a good time. And you go 6 to 8 hours, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
So I could see being like, oh, I'm gonna do like a 5-hour stream today, and you end up doing like a 12 because you're having a great time. But I
Yep.
don't see you just being like, whoa, it's been 24 hours, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, because I've watched a bunch of streamers do it. Pestily, Harris Heller, of course, has done it. Like, I've seen the tail end of the stream, and a lot of the time I'm just like, okay. I mean, you look really tired, and I understand. I mean, I guess when you're at their level, though, a 24-hour stream probably means you made like $30,000 because you get these. Like, Harris Heller had level 5 hype train on the hardest difficulty, and it flew through like nothing was. It was like it wasn't even hard. So I guess if you were at that level where you always have people and you always have all that stuff happening, like, that would be exciting because you're like, what the heck is going on? But
Right. I mean, I guess if you got like rated by a channel that, you know, was super active or something, maybe you'd keep going for as long as you could. Something, you know, like that's what I'm saying. Something that just happens. But like you said, if a game said, "Yo, I'll give you $30,000 to play," I don't know, Call of Duty all night, 24 hours straight, will you do it? I'd be like, yeah, sign me up.
I'm like, yeah. Why would you even ask? Just give me the check.
I'll do it once a week. Let's go.
Like, let's do it. Okay, let's. Yeah, I always fear the moments where, because even, you know, we're smaller streamers, there's time where chat is just empty, just 100%. No one's messaging. People are doing something else.
Yeah.
There's lurkers in there, whatever it may be. I fear the hours where you're really dragging because, you know, you'll get 1 or 2, maybe 3 wins where you're all like, okay, I'm ready to roll. Let's go. But those times where it's like the 3 p.m. struggle at work when you're like, oh my, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to fall asleep and someone's going to see it. But on stream, I would probably, because I don't know, I'm the type of person that could literally sleep right here and I'd be fine. I'd probably pass out. So it'd be one of those, what was that kid who was streaming and passed out?
I don't know.
Isn't it one of the, it's one of the emotes, isn't it? The one where his mouth is hanging open. Wasn't he the one that fell asleep during a stream or something like that?
I have no idea. I've watched 2 streams where somebody was sleeping.
Okay.
On purpose. Like, one guy went to sleep because he was doing, I don't know, like a 36-hour stream, and he just decided to sleep in the middle of it.
Okay.
And then
that's not really a 36-hour your camera's on for 36 hours, but
so he didn't announce it was going to be that long. He was just doing like this new event and was going so hard at it that he just decided to put the camera in front of his bed and go to sleep.
That's so weird.
He put no category so that, you know, wouldn't get banned for not doing that category, and then I guess that saved him. I don't know.
Well, wouldn't that be an IRL stream because he's sleeping in real life? I don't know.
I heard there used to be a rule, and I've read it, I believe, that said you can't have a stream where you're not able to interact with chat, and that was kind of to cover sleeping, because obviously you're not going to talk to chat. Now, I do find that weird because obviously there are the streamers who are like strictly gameplay.
Yeah.
They don't talk to chat. You just watch them defeat everybody all night, and they do well. There's a couple of those for sure. And that's not a problem. So I don't think there's a huge difference in my mind. I mean, as long as someone's appropriately dressed or whatever, like if they want to sleep in their bed on stream, I'm not watching it, but go for it.
Right.
You know?
I'm not gonna tune into that, but there's a viewer for everyone. There really
Yeah.
is.
The
Someone be
second
like,
time I went in and
"This is
someone
so
fell asleep on
exciting."
accident, like you said, and the mom was at the house and didn't know the stream was still going. I think the girl went and like passed out in her bed or on the couch, and the
Okay.
mom's just washing dishes on stream. She doesn't know she's
She
being
has no
streamed.
idea.
I was
Wow.
just like, what is going on here? I like peeked in and she's washing dishes, wiping the counters, and I'm like, I gotta
Oh, man.
leave before something weird happens or I'm out of here. But so
Interesting.
I'm sure that person later woke up and was like, oh no, just like
Oh,
you said. You'd be
Can
like,
you imagine? When I was doing the interview with the Cooch 4, he said that he had left his stream on before, but it's just like you see the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
So people lighten him up on his phone, like, "Hey, your stream's on, man."
yeah. I've heard
Um,
horror stories about people who like stream from their bedroom or something and
Yeah.
forget, and all of a sudden they're getting ready for bed and changing outfits or something. It's like, oh crap,
You're like,
banned.
oh no.
The
Yeah.
internet just saw me in my underwear and I got banned. Sweet.
See, I shut everything down. So all the programs, everything, even my computer overnight, I just shut the whole thing down. So I would never. It'd almost be impossible for me to accidentally be streaming all night like that. Because
At one point, I did leave it for like 10 minutes because of the raid thing. You raid someone and you're still live.
Oh yeah. You actually
So
have
my
to stop
chat's
your
raid,
stream.
and I'm sitting there talking to the raid, doing whatever, and all of a sudden I realize there's the red dot or whatever. Like I'm still live.
And you're
I'm
like, oh,
crap, end.
Oh no. What did I
I mean, I
say?
wasn't-
You're like, go back
Yeah,
on
right.
the VOD, see what you did.
Man, my stream sucked today or whatever. Like
Oh man. The closest thing I've ever done is, and I told Coach this, I've hit the record button instead of the stream button, and then
Okay.
like did the whole intro and did the whole like starting everything, and I'm like, wow, it's really, really dead today. And then I was like, oh, the wrong button
that should be your new intro, though. You should play that every stream now.
every
You
single
don't have
time.
to do the spiel. Like you just click a button on your stream deck. You
then
go
just-
off with your "Hey, I'm Darth," yada yada, whatever, and then switch it to your real scene. You'll be in a different shirt.
And people be like, how did you change so fast? I don't know, man.
Magic.
That was the worst. So now, like, I have the button completely separated. So, like, it's on a different Stream Deck, actually. I make sure that it's all green because it's normally red when it's recording down here. And,
Okay.
yeah, I'm very particular about it because of that one nightmare moment. And then, like, when I came back, because, then I had to do everything again. So I started the stream, the intro, because I have the countdown, all that stuff. And, like, I felt weird. Because I was like, I already did all this. And so, like, I was a little off for a while until, like, the chat started interacting again. And then I came out of it. But it was just a weird, like, I already did this kind of situation, Like,
That's
mentally.
real life deja vu, right? Like
I know.
I just did this.
It happens when they change something. Well, how long have we been going? Look at that. We did about an hour.
We did an hour, flew right by.
Yeah. So I think in the future episodes, I think what I would like to do is just have a couple of talking points on there so that we can
100%.
let people know and say, hey, we're going to hit this topic and this topic and this topic, but it's going to be like, we're not going to have prepared presentations like when I was on Crew Talk way back in the day. I literally prepared a whole like notes and all kinds of things I wanted to say and basically scripted the whole entire conversation. Ours is just like, hey, here's a subject. Let's throw it out there and let's start talking about it as detailed as we can, I guess I would say.
What's funny is, I guess it makes sense, but we do this on accident often. Darth will hit me up and be like, hey, do you mind critiquing a new YouTube video, or you want to talk about streaming or whatever it is? And we'll get in a voice call. It's like, this happened, what, 4 days
man.
ago?
Oh,
It was
4
8
days.
PM.
4
It was
days
like
ago.
8:30. Darth messaged me. We hop and chat. No, it was 10, right? 10?
Yeah, it was after I ended my stream and I was finishing up my YouTube video, and it was like, I want to say it was like 10:30 when I messaged you.
We didn't get off chat until 4 a.m. 4:30.
in the morning.
Yeah, we're like, wow, it's 4. And I don't even think we talked for more than 10 minutes about the thing that we joined to talk about. We ended up on like 90 subjects, and that was kind of why today we decided we did not need a script.
Yeah.
We would just see how it went. I don't think went terribly bad. We had, we were able to continue, but I wouldn't mind a few subjects that we kind of, if we lose train of thought, we can just like
Yeah, so
boom.
that's what I was thinking, is just filler subjects for when both of us have that dead air moment where we stop and we can't think of something. I can be like, oh, just go to the notes real quick and bring this up instead, you know?
Instead of every time being like, "How's the weather?"
Yeah. How's the weather up there? Wait, is New Hampshire up or just straight over? No, it's up a little bit.
East,
Yeah.
maybe slightly north.
Yeah.
I've driven to Ohio, so
Okay. Yeah. I think there's a bunch of us in Ohio from the Creator Crew, if I remember
I
correctly.
think so as well.
Yeah.
There are maybe one other besides my household in New Hampshire, I think.
We should definitely get together for just a C2 meetup somewhere. That would be
You know what's
awesome.
cool? Would do like Cedar Point or something.
Oh, that would be cool.
I know that's easy for you, but
Well,
it's kind of
yeah.
middle of the northern part of the country, and
Well, the cool thing about Cedar
obviously
Point
cool.
is just there's something to do there. It's not just like,
Right.
hey, let's go to a restaurant and that's it. I don't know.
that's like I always tell people that like we get on a slightly closer level within the community, and I'll be like, yeah, you know, if you're ever in my neck of the woods, or you feel like coming to see this part of the country,
Yeah.
go ahead. Like, come in the summer though, because
Well, yeah, because
winters aren't particularly fun unless you're into snowboarding, skiing, maybe.
which I like snowboarding.
yeah. I like it, but it's not. I'd rather be warm.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
But
keep a heater literally 3 feet away from me so that I can get it up to like 70 degrees in this little office here, or studio.
just from as a
Studio.
phone stat, so I luckily can kind of control it.
Nice.
It's warm right now because the door is closed, but it's usually a nice temperature.
Yeah. Well, when I game, I have this nice heater system over here. The PC gets it nice and toasty.
That too. There's 2 PCs in here, so
Yeah.
that alone will cook up the room real quick.
Well, let's cover a couple of last minute subjects on like the teams for Creator Crew, which we've
Okay.
gotten some people applying to the various teams, right? I didn't check the
I
numbers
know
before this. I could have.
Feedback team has been a few.
Okay.
That is something I'd like to get started kind of soon. So if anyone wants to give feedback on their fellow community members for their streams, YouTube videos, whatever have it, we should be starting that program once we have a big enough team, which we may already. And
I was
then
actually
we'll
not
be
sure if
rolling
I
out
was
the-
supposed to apply for that or if I could just join it.
If you're a mod, you probably can just join it. But
I think
if we'll figure the details out for that part.
right. And then did we detail that we were going to have like kind of a form so that it's not just a bunch of random feedback and things like that. So it's actually kind of targeted. So you can say, I want feedback on my cameras. I want feedback on my overlays. I want feedback on my presentation, things like that.
I think the idea was to have a general form of like 5 to 10, give it a rating,
Mhm.
and then a comment box. So, did my camera look nice? Did my audio sound good? Was the mixer of all the volumes nice? You know, did I communicate with chat?
Mhm.
How long did that take? Maybe, and then like an opinion, because opinion's still helpful. But
Oh, yeah.
obviously, if they're like, I hated your stream because I hate the game you were playing,
Well,
you don't need to change that. That doesn't affect
we're also going to
your
tell
entire viewership.
we're going to tell the feedback crew that like it's not about the game, it's not really about the content itself other than actionable things that they can do to improve.
Right.
Like we said, camera setup, audio, the compression on their stream, things like that. So
Right.
it won't be, I didn't like the fact that you wear red headphones. Sorry. You know, yeah.
Damn it! I'll get new ones.
Get new
No.
ones. No. I actually do
Exactly.
like that because I don't know if you can tell, I kind of like red.
For anyone who can't see the stream, Darth has lots of red and black in the background. He is
Just a
very
touch.
Star Wars oriented back there.
It's Sith stuff,
Sith?
you know? Sith stuff.
The Sith side, yeah.
Yeah. So
He's got the whole the sound. What are the squares? The sound squares all over the wall.
yeah, the acoustic squares in the back, which
Yep.
got a good deal on Amazon. So if you're looking for acoustic squares, I have a very, very, very good recommendation on which ones to get. You get 12
There you go.
1x1 sections for $12. So it's like $1 a section. Of course, they come in packs, so you can't like split them up to the exact amount you need, but still pretty good. You know.
That's pretty good.
And then
I don't know if I'd ever do that, but maybe.
if you had
I thought about painting the wall green.
if you had a dedicated studio, things like change a little bit. So I didn't have a
Yeah.
dedicated office in my last house. It was like just a section of the basement. So
I remember the basement.
right,
you
yeah,
had
with the fireplace in the background
yeah.
and everything. Yeah. So my whole mindset about my setup completely changed once I got a room dedicated to it. So
I could see that.
so sometimes that'll change it. But in addition to the feedback team, we also have the artist team, which
The artist team, which is still kind of a work in progress, if I'm real honest.
Mhm.
We don't have a lot of applicants, first off. And second off, we're not exactly sure, because as not an artist myself, how to best host that team. Is it just post their portfolios on our website? Is it feature random art on our Instagram, which I know we've already done one this week
Mhm.
for Little Lucky Angel.
yes, we did.
So just stuff like that, if they apply, is probably most likely. But there is also potential to kind of be like the community's artist.
Right, like where
oh,
someone
you need
goes.
emotes.
Yeah.
Here's the 5 emote artists. Pick from their portfolios. They're on our website. Or you need overlays. Same thing. Here's the people who do overlays. Maybe categorize it on our website on what they do.
Yep.
So there's definitely potential for that if we have enough people interested in actually being artists and making quality work. And I know some of that's opinion, because art's art.
Right.
But obviously, if you've never made an emote, you're probably not the emote artist on the page. Things like that, just
Sure.
being comfortable with the actual art form.
Yeah, and you said we didn't have a lot of people quite
I
interested in it
don't
yet.
believe we had a lot of applications yet.
Okay.
I haven't checked in the past probably week. Obviously, life's been chaotic for most people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Transitioning to work at home and all that. So, but I have not checked any of the forums and how many people applied. I've heard people vocally tell me they applied for feedback team, so I know that's happened.
Well, since things are a little crazy, if you do apply for one of these teams, then just shoot a little message to us in Discord, and we can actively go pursue the information that you gave us. So
And the last team is the content team.
content team, yes. This one's
And that's,
I think this one's going to be the fun, interesting. Not that the other ones aren't fun and interesting, but this is going to be the one that I feel
we
a
can
lot
go more
of people.
directions with.
Yeah. So we wanted casters for tournaments, because it's going to be difficult for me to cast a Fortnite game, because I don't know a lot about Fortnite. I mean, I can be like, oh, look at how fast they built that. And
He built a tower. He shot a man. He did a good job.
look at the things that you can already see him doing. I don't have any opinion
First
other than
place.
that. Yay, But if you
Yeah.
get into some Call of Duty stuff, or some of my other games, I'm going to be a much better fit for that.
Right.
So we need casters for
Casters.
tournaments. We need faces for potential shows,
Like this,
like this. It could even
you want
be
a show.
if we want to do a feedback show, like a live feedback show.
We could do that.
We could
I
have
know
People,
you've done that with a streamer recently.
I
They
did.
kind of did that right live on stream.
yeah. So Wild for Games did a stream review for me live on stream, and it was really cool. It was not only was it cool because he was giving me great tips and great information to improve things, but it was just cool to see, like, he pulled up my stream and my profile's up on his stream at the moment. It's just kind of cool to have that little clip of, like, oh wow, look, Wild for Games is talking about my channel and it's on his screen. He pulled up a video on demand. I don't know why I do that all the time. A VOD, and watched it for a little while, skipped through it, and gave me some tips. He did the whole stream review live.
Yeah, if we had someone
Right there.
interested in doing that, we'd probably have them do like a practice run
Mhm.
for us, just to make sure that they're respectful and kind of have an idea of what they should be looking for at all anyway.
Yep.
So there's potential for that. The creator team could be a lot of things, like you said, talk show, caster, potential, basically anything live on this channel could be on that team. And then even if you want to be on, if we made a Mixer channel, if we have a YouTube, if you wanted to make a YouTube video that pertains to something that helps everybody or involves a bunch of people, maybe. There's a lot of things we can do with that if you're interested, and if you even think you have a great idea or
Right.
have the means to do the idea, even better.
Because we're
if you
kind
want
of-
to go run with something,
We're kind of
Let
just
us know.
throwing guesses out there for what we think the content creator team could be, but
Yeah.
we would love to entertain more, because More content is better, you know?
Yeah, I'd prefer if we can get this channel up more than one night a weekend. I mean, one night a week. Sorry, not weekend. This is a Wednesday. I don't know my days. But the tourneys we probably will bring back very soon. That's still in talks, but
Yeah,
I don't even know what game is the game right now to tourney.
I don't-
COD maybe. And I don't know how we
Warzone.
do it.
I guess you'd do it just like you did the Fortnite tournament, wouldn't you?
I guess, yeah.
Just do
Everybody has to stream, or at least one from each team, and then you kind of. I haven't played the game, so it's gonna be tough for me to talk about it. But I know there's like you go to the gulag and you can come back to life every 14 seconds and you never lose. But
Well, no, you only get the chance in the gulag just the once, but your team
and then your team can revive you
they can buy you back. Yeah,
the whole time until they're all dead.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that could actually be kind of interesting as a tourney.
You can also do you can do plunder, which is interesting because there's no gulag. There is respawns, and it's first to $1 million as a team.
Okay, so it's kind of like more what do they call it? Just deathmatch.
Almost,
Team
yeah, but
deathmatch?
you have to go around the entire map and collect money. So
Okay.
you could. That's at least a little bit more gameplay because it really sucks when you get into a tourney and then you die instantaneously. You're like, oh, I was in the tourney
Right.
for like 10 seconds. That's a bummer.
I signed up. I've been excited all week. I was alive for 14 seconds.
Yeah, so that'll
I
give
fell
you
off
at
the
least
building.
one whole entire game, even if you're
Right.
eliminated in the first round. That'd be kind of cool. But
Yeah.
And if anyone else has games that they want to suggest, we're up for it.
We all know I might do a Destiny tournament.
If you did a Destiny tournament, you let me know early enough, and I'll get in and practice.
There we go.
I do have it.
Everybody can try to show me up, even though I'm actually not top tier. So somebody probably will, and then I'll feel real sad how much time I've spent in the game and got beat.
We'll just have to.
Alright,
Well, the teams
tournament
can
canceled.
be randomized too. So it's
That's true.
as long if it's a team-based game, it's not all about just the one person. So,
Right.
But
yeah, so lots of opportunities if you are interested is kind of the gist of everything.
Yeah.
We're making teams so that everybody of all interests could potentially get in on something, be excited about the community, be excited about what we're doing, be part of what we're doing, more so than just saying good morning.
Right.
As much as I love hearing good morning from everybody.
Speaking of, do you want to touch on the new ranking system that we've put out there? I know it's still in flux a
Yeah.
little bit, but some people are probably curious as to, when you can post links again, what the
All right,
resets
so
are going to do, stuff like that.
I will hit on the two newest things added to our Discord is you can now pick your own color because you can put your platform and it'll turn your name that color. We have Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook. Right now it's basically all Twitch with a couple of YouTubers. We do also have a community role. If you're just none of the above and you want to be part of the Discord, you are welcome.
Just a
to
viewer.
just chat with
yeah.
us. So that's an orange color. Makes you nice and bright. You stand out. So that's the first thing I added.
So that all the people with the purples, blues, and reds can be like, "Ooh, I got to be friends with that one."
Exactly. And then like you said, I added a second bot. You can still check your old Me6 rank if you just want to know how much you've talked over the past 2+ years.
Does the
but
Me6
that rank
bot-
doesn't really matter.
Does it still progress? So will you still get
It
Me6
does.
ranks and continue to roll up?
Yeah. I was unsure if I should just make that kind of like a veteran secret perk, but I thought it would be kind of cool. Like 10 years from now, who was the most talker in 10 years, or like
Sure.
who stuck with us, because they've probably been here a long time if they're the number one name on the board, or they just really like to talk. It could be that.
Could be that.
But I did add a second bot. It is now a question mark rank instead of exclamation point rank. And that will be reset as of right now. I'm thinking bi-monthly.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's the word because I've never heard anybody use it, but every other month,
Yep.
probably reset it. Rank 1 is just your name moves above the online members to active member. Name could be changed. That's just the first thing that came to mind. You are now active at all. You've gotten to rank 1. And then at rank 5, you're a community member. Not that everyone's not part of the community, but these people have actually
Well, you have to
become one with the community.
name the
They've-
roles, so you got to pick something, right?
I do. Yeah. They've they are now probably somewhat, their name is a little bit known in the community that month or two. Like you've probably seen them around. And that's rank 5. And now then you can post in your social media channel and the Streamlink channel and YouTube channel. So you can promote your own stuff. And that way we don't become a link dumping ground. We become a place that if you see somebody posting those, you potentially know who they are. You may actually click the link.
Right.
That's the idea behind it.
Right. It's not to.
Hopefully you care about those people.
It's not
a little more.
necessarily to punish anybody. It's just to make it so that, like, because I'll be honest, I'm not going to click on someone where I'm like, I didn't even know they were part of the server. Who is that?
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we have people who've been here for 2 years. 1.5 years ago, maybe they talked a ton. They got enough rank to post, and we haven't heard from them since. And anybody who's new would be like, what are all these links? This is like, it just doesn't feel like a community. It doesn't feel like the people who are actually there are actually there. Like, it just feels like there's a bunch of random people in one channel called Twitch links that nobody cares about anymore because
everyone has it muted.
Who is it?
Right.
Yeah. Now, hopefully we can all unmute it. We can actually care when people post and potentially click and see who's live. I think the Live Now bot works with rank 5ers too.
Okay.
No one's there yet, so it has not been tested. Somebody start talking and get there.
There we go. Well, anything else to say?
I think that wraps up our new changes. We probably won't do that every episode, but since it's the big news stuff, it's relevant. This show will be back next Wednesday, same time, 8 p.m.
Every
Plan
Wednesday.
To do that every week.
And
maybe excluding, like, if it's Christmas or something.
Right.
And even then, maybe we'll just do a different day that week. We'll see.
Yep. Okay.
This is obviously new. If you've been here or if you watch this on the VOD later, give us how you feel about it. We're not sure on the first episode, but the plan is to eventually get this to podcast platforms.
Yep.
So I don't know what Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, or Apple Podcast.
I used, what was it, Podbean, I think?
Yeah.
Where I just put it there and then it kind of
went to all of them.
Did the thing. Yeah.
So as many as we can. And hopefully they translate well and everybody can listen to that. And it's still, then they can listen to it on their drive or their walk, their run, wherever they like to hear my voice or Darth's voice.
Right. And that's, with that said, that's kind of why we didn't interact with chat quite as much, is because we want to be able to publish it that way so that it's not like, oh, well, I wasn't there, so I can't listen to this.
Right.
So
if you do have feedback or like you feel like us not talking to you really hurt the experience, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We will potentially change some things. Maybe do a Q&A section at the end so it's easy to cut, or even right in the middle for a little portion. We'll figure something out. Let us know.
We can make it happen.
We saw you. I had chat up open on 2 screens because I had Baggy Noodle Arms and C2 both being watching, because if I wanted to talk to you as one or the other. Yeah, and why not, right? I don't even think it counts as an extra view.
No, I think it's one from
IP or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
But that way I could just do, a little bit of this and be 2 people at once. Not to mention changing the stream title and all that.
Yep.
But yeah, so we definitely saw your messages. We appreciate you being here. Appreciate the feedback. Appreciate some of the messages we read and used as content a little. So we do appreciate it. Thank you. I did see the bits from you, Brock. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Brock.
And I did see plenty of hosts in there. I don't have them up, so I don't know if I can find them all quick enough, but I think I saw Jono, Nerdy Corn Girl. I'm sure I already missed a ton.
Are you in the the creator dashboard, or are you just in the general?
I'm not. I should be.
Yeah,
but
I think it shows hosts in the creator dashboard on the activity feed.
We'll open that. We got time.
Yeah.
Let's see. It just shows follows. So Lunar Babe, thanks for the follow 31 minutes ago. Yo Boy Freckles, thanks for the follow. Reveal the Kraken, thanks for the follow. Stims for the follow.
Those ones are from...
Oh, Stims is old. Stims is old.
That's
right.
where it ended.
That's 7 days ago. All the rest. Reveal, Yo Boy Freckles, Lunar, thanks for the follows, and Brock for the bits. I don't see host on this list.
Bummer. Okay. Well,
it does say it'll show hosts, but I don't see them. Maybe because I didn't have it open. I have no idea. Because there was definitely hosts. We saw them. Edge followed. Liar. You were already following.
You were already following.
But yeah, I think that concludes it. I would say an hour and a half is probably pretty perfect. We'll try to keep
Yeah, not
around that length.
not monopolize your whole night on Wednesday because we know you have other streamers or you have streaming to do. So
Or bed.
or well, what?
It's the middle of the week.
What?
on.
We don't have
They
to
could
go
be-
into work tomorrow. You're fine.
Yeah. Some people go to bed early.
Yeah, I know. I typically try to, but it never happens.
I don't think I ever have
Yeah.
in my whole life. No. All right, guys. Yeah.
Well,
Signing off. Have a good night.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone. We'll be back next week at 8 p.m. U.S. East. So have a good night, everyone.